I'm here today with Kush Birdie from Birdie & Co Solicitors, and today we're talking about the differences between leaseholds and licences. And actually, that a lot of people don't really understand, I think, the difference between them, do they?
A lot of people misunderstand that.
Yeah.
Sellers misunderstand it, buyers misunderstand it. In a nutshell, if you have a lease of a property, you have the exclusive right to use that property for your own sort of permitted use. So in this case it would be a nursery setting, and the landlord can't just walk in and exclude you from that. That's the key component of a lease. If you don't have that component to it, so for example, if in the building it's a shared access building, or if you've got like a setting which you have to pack away setting every day, most likely you've got what's called a license, which means you don't have the security of your own space. The landlord can effectively walk in at any time and sort of say, by the way, you've got to leave. However, some nurseries operate with a license for decades.
30 years, yeah.
For decades, and they come to sell the nursery, and I don't understand why my buyer won't give me the right valuation, or they won't buy it.
Yeah, they can't get lending against it.
Yeah, they can't get lending against it because they don't have that security of a lease. So the main distinction between a lease and a license is the security aspect. If you have a lease, no one can exclude you from the premises unless you breach the lease. So if you have a 10-year lease, you have the right for 10 years to be there. But with a license, even if the document states you've got a 20-year license, lease or rental agreement or something, if you don't have that exclusivity of use and occupation, then you don't have a lease effectively, and there's no security there.
Yeah. And I think, you know, a lot of people, they come to me and say, well, I've been in the same property for 30 years, I have a licence, but I've just been told my business isn't worth anything. And one of the key things I always say about this is actually, you know, your circumstances have changed massively in that 30 years. The chances are is whoever has granted you this licence, their circumstances have changed as well. It's something to look at before sale to see if actually a more traditional lease can be put in place, because 9 times out of 10, it can be done quite easily.
Yeah, absolutely. In some cases, it actually can't, because if the landlord, for example, in a church building, for example, it may be impossible because the landlord wants to use the property for something else. We had a case where the landlord wanted to use the property, the building, for polling stations and stuff. So they would never grant formal leases of the building, but we managed to find a way around it.
Of course you did. Of course you did. There's always a way, and often, you know, those things that can be resolved a couple of years before sale will actually make your entire transaction so much easier.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So I hope you found that useful. If you have any questions, please drop them into the comments below, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.